Hello and welcome to Stuff They Should Have Taught You in School. I'm your host, of course, Monsui. So, who is that person that is always with you all the time? Who is that person that can always say the right things to you? Who is that person that can push you and help you? That person, of course, is you. So before we get into it, a quick disclosure, these are done in one take, and a thank you to anyone listening out there at the moment. And an extra thank you if you decide to subscribe, like, or share these episodes. It will help me grow and hopefully help other people learn tips and tricks that you need in adulthood that school doesn't teach us. Stuff like credit cards and mortgages, how to use loans, how to not work forever, and how to not retire with hardly any money. And how not to be stressed out with your finances and actually take control of them. So, today's episode though, do you struggle with believing in yourself? So this is the thing, is the sooner you realise that at the end of the day, no one else is going to come and do it for you. When you were younger, a lot of people, especially in the UK, what I see, is a lot of people believe that the world owes them something. Believe that they deserve something, and I'm here to tell you that that is incorrect. And if you feel that the world owes you something, or that you deserve anything for whatever work you've put in, or however many years you've done XYZ for, if you believe that someone owes you something for it, for example, if you believe that you've worked for someone for 40 years, do you believe that they owe you something? Do you believe that they owe you some sort of, if they were to fire you, that wouldn't go down very well. You'd think, oh, I've served you for so many years. But realise that no one actually owes you anything, except for you. You owe yourself something. And you owe it to yourself, because at the end of the day, you are the only person that will only ever be there for you. No, people will come and go, and they'll be there sometimes not there, but you are always there for you. So we need to look at the self-talk and understand that people do struggle with believing in themselves. They do think, oh, I can't do X, I can't do Y. Whereas you really want to develop over time a mindset of abundance and an infinite mindset where you believe that anything, that you can do anything. You do believe you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So for example, you should believe that if you wanted to, you would dedicate the time and the effort to becoming the best tennis player, the best footballer in the world, the best snooker player in the world. You would become the best at boxing in the world. You have the capability to do it. You have the drive, but you can't do everything. So you can't go and become the best boxer and the best tennis player. But you have the confidence in yourself to say, I can go and do that. You have the confidence in yourself to say, if I really want to go and do it, I will go and do it. And that then gives you freedom, because then you look at the world and you say, okay, what is it that I really want to go and do? Now, maybe this answer changes, which it probably does, and it has for me. And then you start to develop that tenacity, and you have that drive to say, I can do it. I can do everything, and you solely believe it. And even if you don't believe it right now, you keep telling yourself that every single day, I can do it. I have I do not need resources. I am resourceful. I can develop and learn any skills I need to complete whatever I need to do. And the self-confidence comes over time. And as you practice it and come out of your comfort zone a little bit, you start to develop it. A lot of people, they feel like someone owes them something. You are the only person that you owe something to. You should be your own best friend. You should be your own coach, your own mentor. You should think and monitor your self-talk and think about what you're saying to yourself. Are you saying stuff like, I'm so stupid, which a lot of people have that from childhood, is, you make a mistake and your parents or your teacher or someone says, "You're stupid. Why did you do that? You're stupid." Or "Are you dumb?" or whatever. And this impacts you over time. And then you learn to have that same self-talk when you're an adult, which doesn't serve you. A lot of people have got trauma as a kid. I'm not going to talk about that today. But because of that, then they have negative self-talk. And that obviously impacts the way that you believe in yourself, the way that you coach yourself. You got someone in your inside, and most people who have negative self-talk, they are harsh. They're really, really harsh on themselves, and they would never, ever, ever dream of saying anything like that to anyone else. So you coach yourself as if you're coaching a kid. So with a kid, you would normally say to them, "You can achieve anything. You can do anything." So say that to yourself, and keep saying it to yourself. You have that. You need to train that voice in your mind. That's always going to be with you. That's the one thing that will always be with you. And you coach that to motivate you, and over time you will have times where it's like you accidentally say the wrong thing to yourself, or you say, "Oh, I fucked up," or whatever. But we got to realize as well that mistakes are not bad. They're just lessons. They're learning curves. Whereas we are normally taught that mistakes are bad, and you'll get shouted at for a mistake. Whereas mistakes are just part of it, and we need to slowly develop that voice in our head to coach ourselves, to push ourselves to do better. There are some tactics that we can use to help it with us. So we can say things like, we can put ourselves in the third person. So we can say, "What would Monsui do in this situation?" And you view it as it were from a bird's eye point of view. So for example, imagine I've got work to do. Or imagine, I don't know, I'm in school and I've got homework to do tonight. And it's Friday evening. And I've got a friend calling me. And in that split second I think, should I do my homework or should I not do my homework? Or maybe it's a Thursday night, I don't know. It's just an example. And then you ask yourself, you train yourself to ask yourself, what is the best thing for Monsui to do right now? Is it going to be to go out and get drunk or whatever? Or is it going to be to stay at home and do work? And you can go even further than that when you have multiple pieces of work to do. And you say, what is the best thing for me to do right now? What is the best thing for Monsui to do right now? What is the best thing? And then it sort of brings you out of it, because too often, if you are inside the situation, it's hard to understand what's going on. From an outside perspective, you can quite clearly see what the right and wrong things are, or quote unquote right and quote wrong, whatever. Another tactic is to think of your life as a movie, and you are the superhero. You are the hero in the movie of your life. So you ask, what would the hero do in this situation? Would the hero steal? Would the hero lie? Would the hero cheat? Would the hero give up? You're at that point right now, or when you're down, that's the point where, almost like the movie starting, the hero's in the shit position. Then slowly they go through one or two battles, and they go up and down, but they eventually end up. So that's how it is for you. You are the hero in your own movie of your life. And talk to yourself as if you are the hero, as if you are you are the main character, because you are. Each of us is the main character. Each of us are the hero of our own life. We've been given a chance to do something, and a lot of people will fall into depression and think it's all worthless, and what kind of life is that? We've essentially hit the lottery to be able to be in this position right now, to listen to me right now, to wake up with hopefully most of your senses or all of your senses working in a country where or in a place where you have shelter. You wake up with shelter over your head. You wake up and there's food ready downstairs, or if you're in a flat, the food ready in the kitchen, or you can just go and make the food. How lucky are we? So what can we do? How do we motivate ourselves? Now, there are going to obviously be times up and down, but you want to slowly train that mind and become your own best friend. Get used to yourself. And through getting used to yourself and becoming your own best friend and having that confidence, the confidence will slowly build, and you'll start to believe in yourself more, because you're telling yourself, I can do it, I can do it. What's the best thing for me to do right now? What's the best? I'm the hero in them. I'm the main character. The more you tell yourself that, the more you're not hunched over anymore. You got your shoulders back. You're standing straight, and that's another tip actually, is to sit up straight or stand straight rather than hunched over, because it does have an effect on your mind. So in summary then, if you do struggle with believing in yourself, like so many people do, or you struggle with self-confidence, like so many people do, you got to realise that you are always there for you. You're always going to be there for you. No one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to tell you to get up when it's the time to get up. No one else is going to tell you to go take that leap of faith when you know you need to. No one else is going to say to you, I know you're scared, but just do it. You are the person that's going to say that to yourself. And you are the person that's either going to talk yourself into it or talk yourself out of it. So you want to train that voice in your head. We can use tactics. Like I was saying, third person, what is the best thing for Monsui to do right now? Think of it as if you are the hero in your own life. Because so many people have negative self-talk from trauma, or just, doing it again and again and again, and you've built that habit. Now it's time to break the habit. The habit may have served you when you were younger, or maybe it hasn't ever served you. Either way, it's time to break it now. You should be your own best friend. You should coach yourself. You should motivate yourself. You should be your own mentor. You should push yourself forward and have the positive, and monitor your self-talk, so what's going on in your head is supporting you and helping you get better and better and better. And you have it in your head, and when you have a failure, you have it in your head, and you have that trigger. Soon enough, it will become a habit, and it will say, instead of saying, oh, you're so shit, or whatever, I knew it wasn't going to work, or whatever crap that little voice wants to come up with, eventually you'll train that voice to say, it's okay, you can do it. You can always do it. You will always, even if you cannot see the way now, you will rise to the occasion. And you keep telling yourself that until you completely believe it. And you completely believe, as much as you believe that the sky is blue, that you can do anything that you need to do or want to do. You are not afraid to put in the effort, and you will reap the results. So ask yourself and monitor your self-talk. Are you confident in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? How do you treat yourself? Get comfortable in your own skin. You don't need other people all the time. You don't need to be, constant external validation. If you need constant external validation, it shows that you don't really believe in yourself. You don't have that kind of self-confidence, which you do need. Because no one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to be there for you. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming to, the world doesn't owe you anything. No one owes you anything. No matter where you come from, where you're going, no one owes you anything. The sooner you understand that on a fundamental level, the sooner you start taking responsibility and say, right, this thing called life, I'm grabbing it by the balls and I'm going to do what I need to do. And maybe I'll fail once or twice, 10 times, 100 times, 200 times, 1,000 times, and I'll try 1,000 different things, and on the 1,001st thing, I'll hit it. And all the way, I'm going to be mentoring myself and coaching myself. You have been listening to Stuff They Should Have Taught You in School. I was your host, of course, Monsui. If you have any feedback or topic requests or anything, you just want to have a chat, my email address is monsui@icloud.com. Please do, if you do email me, please do email me. If you do email me, just put where you've come from, quote the podcast and say I heard it from this and that. Anyway, hope to see you on the next episode, and in the meantime, share this with someone, subscribe and leave me a review. Share it with someone who you think that it would benefit. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your children, maybe it's your brother or sister. Anyway, I will see you on the next episode.